All right, it's doing its little buffering thing. Buffering,
Oh no.
buffering.
Oh no. It's being streamed to a third party. Is that OnlyFans?
Yo, straight up. There we fucking go. All right, I'm out here with Big Dog Lewis, man. You guys know Lewis, aka the Crypto Kid, aka the Crypto King, son. You know what I'm saying? We are on our way up, and right now, me and Lewis, you guys are tuning in as we get a chance to chat and talk right before we invite all the students in that are going to get a chance to learn from the Big Dog, the kingpin of the crypto land, bro. Let the people know about what it's like, you know what I'm saying? Back from the NFT days that none of us got up until crypto today. Talk about some of the confusion because today, you know what I'm saying? My dog is going to be talking about risk management and why you need to be careful about making investments.
Well, yeah, I think it's the most important part of investing in general. Would it be real estate? Would it be stocks, options, futures, crypto, or anything in general is the most important because the way you start a position is how it's going to end up. You know, if you don't have the proper rules, you're always going to lose.
Big facts. And you know what? I got to say personally, the fact that it's this early in us teaching this class to the people, right? Why did you decide that you wanted to start teaching risk management as a fundamental now versus later on?
Well, just exactly what I said just now is literally is the most important because without it, you can have the technical analysis or the fundamental analysis about, or even understanding of a certain area, like for example, real estate. But if you don't know how to properly um, use capital, you're gonna end up in positions you don't want to be in, like over leveraging. You know, getting, for example, in real estate, getting too much credit from banks and stuff, and then you won't be able to at certain parts of your life be able to pay that, and you're still at risk, and all that time you spend and all the money could be lost if the bank, for example, takes the house. Or in investing in stocks or financial markets in general, if you over leverage, you could potentially lose all your money or a big portion of it, and you know, you might have been able to handle that loss in general, but since you over leveraged, you won't be able to because they're going to just close your positions, just like a bank would. You know, they could take your property. So things like that are very important because obviously you don't want to be in those positions. So knowing about it can help you make better decisions.
Big facts, bro. And you know, I'll go on to say that if you guys don't know Brother Lewis spoke Russian before he spoke English. Now he speaks English. We gave him just a little bit of power, and now he's a fucking superstar in this language, giving us game and giving us wisdom. So my dude is multi-talented, versatile, and literally able to formulate such fucking beautiful thoughts and teach it to other people. You feel me? So, like, on a whole note, first of all, there's no excuses in anything in life. You came here, you make this shit happen. You're able to spit game. You're able to spit game to everybody, and you're able to like break down people's minds and teach them. And I really got to say that I think it's very noble that you decided to use your wisdom to say, look, man, I think that people need to understand risk management before they move forward because it's not about getting rich overnight. It is not about watching somebody else do some sort of crypto pump, becoming a millionaire, and then you do that too. It is about the fundamentals. It is a marathon. It is a long-term race. And you are really embodying that today by going ahead and teaching these brothers risk management, man. So I got to give an applaud to you. If I can do a Don DeMarco, that is what that would be right now, my boy.
You do need a soundboard. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's why all the big firms use bots in general is because there's no psychological tolerance in a sense to risk. Like there's no psychological barrier in investing using robots because obviously they don't feel emotions yet. So they don't have those problems that people have, and it's a lot more profitable to have for example, a bot with no emotions take actions by deliberate plan instead of a person trying to do the same and having, emotions attached to it and not being able to properly do it because of fear or greed or anything else.
Facts, bro. Big fucking facts, homie. So look, man, now that it's only 5 minutes away, what I'm gonna do, well, now 4 minutes away, is I'm gonna start sending in the links, start recruiting in the students, let them learn from the big dog, aka you, my guy, and you're gonna get a chance to welcome them all in. Say hi real quick, reintroduce yourselves to everybody, and let them learn the real mother sauce. You know what I mean, bro? So let's start getting them
Sure.
in, and they get a chance to say hi to my dog, Big Dog Lou, all over again. Let's freaking go, man.
Let
Look at
me
this.
let me get my computer charger real quick.
No problem, Big G.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, you're a bit of a hype man in general, in my
Hey,
opinion.
you know what I'm saying, bro? I actually did that before in Orlando. Yo, we got brother Julian.
We are
You
here, sir. What's up, Luis? How you doing, bro?
good? How are you?
I'm good, boss.
Yo, we got the whole squad. So everybody knows we are live on YouTube. We are recording right now. Julian, go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know why you are interested in crypto with Big Dog Lou, my boy.
I'm in crypto for obvious a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons that I want to dive into, specifically like the new chains that are coming on now, Solana, just the uncertainty in the markets, and I just want to know where everything is at right now. And I know Lewis is literally the best in the game, and he can guide us in the right direction for this. And my questions will vary from where is Bitcoin going to come? Is it? We all know it's here to stay for sure. Where is Solana, XRP going to be at? Things like that, and what does it hold for the future? Because I'm currently in all these coins, but I just want to see if there's a lot of volume going to be pumped throughout, Solana more and XRP.
And also today he's gonna, in addition to what you just asked, he's gonna answer, but at the same time, he's going over risk management today. And do you think risk management can help you as an individual?
Yeah, certainly, for sure it can. Just to kind of mitigate on where to take profits and where to stop and where to set them at. And that will probably help me a lot for sure, especially me being fresh to crypto and very new to it. 100%, that would be very beneficial for me.
Yes, sir. Yo, we got brother Omar in the building. Brother Omar. Yo, we got Lewis in here. We are live on YouTube. We are live and recording. Go ahead and say hi to brother Lewis. Today we're talking about risk management. Do you think risk management can help you, Big Dog Omar in New York City?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good.
Yes,
How are you?
sir.
Doing good, man. Doing good. I'm at work actually right now. I took an extra shift, so I should be closing up soon. But I appreciate y'all the time y'all giving us, and looking forward to some knowledge, man. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Big facts. So as we speak here, I'm going ahead and just shooting out the link to everybody. And yeah, it's also live on YouTube. If you guys want to take that link and shoot it out, I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat right now to anyone that you believe
Yeah,
should be watching it from that perspective.
yeah, Chris. Like Myron says, please open up a tab on YouTube. Mute it if you guys want. So
Yeah,
it gets pushed.
mute it, like, share, subscribe. We are out here, you know what I'm saying? Send it to the people that you know might not be able to make it, or maybe they can't keep up with the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they're just not as red pill, but they can watch. They can watch, you know what I mean? Yo, all right, we are literally we sending it out to the peeps, sending it out in every group
Let's
chat.
let's wait like 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna start talking about something. I
Big
mean,
facts.
Julian, since last call, I don't know if you had any positions open.
The
Did
only
you?
thing I had open was I have just everything still on Phantom, still on Coinbase, things like that.
But
Those are my only positions that I would say that are
but
still open currently.
you bought a while ago, no?
Yeah, I bought it in December. I will say I bought it in December, and same with Solana. I bought towards, I will say, give or take a September-ish, around there,
So
or December. I have to
well,
double check.
big difference. September was still like chilling, you know. December, that's where everything started crashing, pretty much. That's the beginning of the crash around mid-December, when the Fed meeting was. But yeah, I mean, one of the boys, Patrick, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, the
Correct.
Hawaiian.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very bad with names. I'm better with faces, so I'll remember your faces, but names gonna take me a while. But yeah, he was up, and now he's probably up even more because today, um, it was a it was a meeting, Federal Reserve meeting. So and Bitcoin went up like 5%, and obviously the whole market is up.
I'm assuming the market, as what they were asking from the meeting, everything is stabilizing back because they've put out good news.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally, the past few of these meetings, nothing really changed. So as long as it's not worse news, it's gonna be sort of good. Like, they basically talk about the same shit as the past meetings. Like, there's not much change because they're waiting for more clarity with tariffs and etc. And it's like they basically don't are not doing anything at the moment. They're waiting. So it's as long as it's not terrible, the market is gonna do somewhat well because it's been so down this whole year, this past 3 months. So
Where do you see where do you see with this tariff war going on back and forth with China, Canada, Mexico? Do you see it potentially stopping at a halt, or you think it's going to keep going until one of them folds, and then the market will start settling back to where it's at?
well, the thing is these kind of headlines and stuff that are happening right now is kind of overblown. I've seen a chart of Goldman Sachs. They did like how can I explain it? And they did like a chart basically that explains like what is the reaction to tariffs, what is the actual tariffs happening, like how much the inflation is from them, and what is it was before, and the reaction right now is really overblown. Like the worst case scenario is not as bad as people like try to project and the news try to project. So it's a lot of if you look up, actually, it's funny. There is a chart that says like how much the news have said uncertainty in the last like few months since the presidency, and it's at the peak high since like I think early 2000s or 2008. So they're just scaring the fuck out of everybody on purpose, you know, so the market tanks.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, and I can kind
Yeah,
of.
but it's gonna, I mean, it's gonna all stabilize and keep like there's nothing really like we're not really at a high inflation. There's not really many problems, and the inflation that comes with tariffs are is not that high, and it's good for the economy of companies here in the long term, you know, because obviously a lot of companies are building here. That's going to give more jobs. That's going to build up the economy here as well, and we're gonna it's just overall positive, but obviously in the beginning it has to be somewhat painful because to set these kind of rules and set these the stage for the long-term effect, you have to sacrifice, you know, have these trade wars and have somewhat small problems and panics and stuff to really settle the score and kind of get it in line for the long term future that Trump, I guess, is planning, and to boost the economy in long term. So yeah, but I would say a lot of it is fear mongering, you know.
Okay, and that's good to know for sure. Yeah, because I kind of seen where, he would put in these in there. It would, like you just said, it would be like a fear tactic in a sense where they have to comply and kind of go back and forth of who is gonna be on top at the end, and that's why everybody's I seen a short of people selling Bitcoin out of nowhere just because, and I think that was a pretty bad move on their end to do that.
I mean, that's kind of what we're going to talk about, because part of that is not having a proper plan and having bad risk management. Because obviously, if you look at it super positive, it's like, oh, I'm never going to have a time where I'm losing money. You're going to panic. And if you don't understand the long term kind of game of this, you're going to panic in bad times and sell at the bad price, you know? So, if you don't have a plan, you're gonna, get fucking burned.
And real quick, shout out to, brother Julian already being in here and asking some great questions. Omar, Julian, aka Jay, Mike, aka Michael, aka that boy, Patrick, Sammy, Ivan, Don. We got everybody. We got a ton of dudes from the Brotherhood in here. Yo, we are live on YouTube. The video is recording. You guys can say hi to the world, ask as many questions as you want. Go ahead and talk to Brother Lewis. Today, he's going to be talking about risk management in crypto so you guys can protect your portfolio, make wise decisions, know when to put your your purchase in and when to take profits out. And as he's talking about these things, feel free to jump in and ask questions that'll make you better at crypto.
I got a question, Lewis.
Yeah.
So in terms of like overall percentage, like say you make XYZ a month, how much would you recommend on a percentage basis?
Well, it kind of depends when you get in. If you're talking about like crypto in general, and it also depends in crypto, like what kind of thing you're investing in. If it's Bitcoin, it's going to be a different percentage from, like a low cap coin, like altcoins or Solana, for example. It's going to be all different because obviously they move differently, and some of them can do, a 2x in a month, and other ones can do, Bitcoin will do 1.5x or 2x, 3x in a year or a year and a half. So it just depends, and also depends when you got in. Because if you got in early, then you have a lot more of an upside that you can have, right? You could aim for a higher percentage. But if you got in close to the top, you don't want to aim for crazy numbers because then you're gonna you're gonna hold too long and you're gonna get fucked, basically. Put
Like
it simply.
basically exposure to more risk.
Yeah, so it just depends on those things. Like if you aim for, like, if you got in last year during like January or so, then you have a higher upside, right? You can have 2-3x that could happen, right? I think last year Bitcoin was about 40 grand, 30, 40 grand. And the top now is like 108 or around 100 something. So it's, a lot. That's a 2x, right? 2.5x. So you have a lot more upside than if you got in at 100K, right? 100K now, probably the top is going to be 150, 180. So that's 50 to 80%, right? So if you're aiming for a 3x from 100K, you're gonna hold too long and it's gonna drop, and you're gonna be down for a couple of years. You know what I mean? Until it starts to go back up again. So it just depends on those things. It's kind of more specific to a situation that you're in or you're trying to get yourself in.
Okay, so more closer to the bottom, the more you can afford to risk.
Yeah, because there's less downside, right? So when something is even like, for example, a company, right, or Bitcoin, for example, when it drops during the down years, right, the down cycles, the bear market cycles, which are like usually 2 years, around that 1.5 years. So from the bottom, there's not much more you can lose, right? Like, for example, let's say it goes to 180K, and now the bottom is going to be from 100K to 80K, right? If you bought around 90K, for example, in the middle somewhere, the maximum that it usually would go is like 80K, maybe 75K, right? It's a lot less that you could potentially lose. So compared to if you got in at 180, right? It's 50% to 90K, right? So you're risking a lot more and your gain is a lot less. So you want to position yourself, especially if you're more of a long-term investor, to position yourself in places where you have a lot more upside than downside. And that's how you mitigate a lot of risk and you get the most profit from your money, basically.
So if we were to apply that to like now, like let's say as this Zoom meeting is going, I'm currently driving. I can't search up right now what is the current rate of Bitcoin, but it's
Well,
somewhere. What would you say is right now? Because I can't search it up right now.
it's 86 today. It went up like I was saying before, like around 5%, 4.4%. So the bottom here, looking just at the chart, let's say you look at past 6 months or year to date, whatever, same thing, or past 6 months, you try to look at the longer term to see the bigger levels where it kind of stopped and came back, or went up and came back. So those usually would be the lower the levels, and the more time the chart touches it, the more strong that support or resistance is. So the lowest here is around 80 to like 70. What is this? 79 and a half. Um, I've seen probably even lower, like 78. Let's say 78. So
Mm-hmm.
that place is a strong support, because if you look at it from a logical point, like, okay, if you take investors and they know that Bitcoin can go to 110 or even higher, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
they're looking at the price and it's 78,000. That's literally almost 50% till the top, right? 30K, around 40 something percent. So they're looking at it, oh, this is a really good price to buy, because look at the potential upside. I can get 40%, right? And if you look at the the even lower kind of support is the 68,000, 66,000. That was the top in the last cycle. So if you look at those levels, you could see, okay, if I buy at 78, probably the most likely, like worst case scenario, it goes to like 68, 66. And that's if like the bad news come and everything is shit, basically. That's probably the lowest it will go, right? So unless it's a end of the cycle, which I don't think yet is going to happen, because I think the market is going to reverse and we're going to have good ending to this year. But yeah, so that's where you would see it, right? From 78K to 68K, that's 10,000 that you're down, right? Compared to the top of 100, 108? Let me make sure I'm showing the right. Around 106, right? 6.5. So, that's about 26 grand to maybe 30 grand in general. So you can lose if you put in, for example, all the money, right? Let's say you put 100K, potential loss is 10K, potential gain is 30K, right? Your reward is 3 times higher than the potential loss. So that's where you want to position yourself, is in the places where your risk your potential loss is a lot lower than the potential win. And that's why getting into the market early, and obviously you guys kind of, most of you just got in, but you will have more opportunities in the future because it cycles. So once we have the big sell off, there's going to be another opportunity where it's really low and the potential upside is really high, right? It could double, triple, and etc. So yeah, that's kind of the point of it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through some of the things I have here about risk management. So this
Sir, thank you,
this
man.
this applies to pretty much any kind of investing and general. Would it be real estate? Would it be stocks, crypto, options? Pretty much anything. Even I would say some parts of business as well, because obviously these things are anything that has to do with money, and especially that has to do with leverage. I don't know if you probably know what leverage is. Borrowing money or getting money from somebody else, the money that you don't have, but possibly the thing that you're buying will give you money, right? So that's kind of leverage in general. And what that puts you at a higher risk, because obviously you're using money that is not your own, and it's a lot easier for you to lose a huge amount of money because now you're using more money than you can pretty much handle. So that's why leverage is good, but you have to use it right? Because if you over leverage, this is what happens in a lot of places and to a lot of people, especially in crypto, because they're looking for fast wins and they use leverage to 100 times what they have. Like they have $1,000, they use 100,000 from the broker and etc. And what that does is a 1% move, right? For 100,000 is $1,000. That means if they lose 1%, they lose their whole money, right? So you don't want to put yourself in that position because obviously it's very risky and you incur more risk. And it's not always how you think of it is what's going to happen. You might think, oh, I'm going to make this much money if I put this much, but it doesn't always happen the same way you think, right? So that's kind of important part of it. But yeah, so let me start. 1 second. Let me see.
And shout out to, we got Ken hopping in here, we got Jason hopping in here, we got a full brotherhood, man.
So yeah, so the most important, I think, in risk management, the reason why it's really important in financial markets and in general in investing is, like I said, there's emotional, psychological kind of biases that happen when you're investing, and also it's the most important is your risk tolerance, and risk tolerance will either give you, if you have a low risk tolerance, right, it will induce a lot of fear in you and a lot of problems that come with investments and traders and anything that you would think that has to do with money is greed and fear, right? Most people that don't start, for example, a business or don't invest in a property or don't go into financial markets is because of fear, right? They're afraid that it's risky and they're going to lose money and etc. So fear blocks most people. And then there's other people like gambling addicts or etc. that are greed driven, and the problem that they have is the opposite. They overdo it. And so investing in general is like a balance. You have to learn how to balance your confidence and your fear, because if you go in one or the other directions, you have problems happening with you. So yeah, let's just start with, well, one of the ways of limiting that kind of creating better risk management is diversifying, and some of you have kind of done that already with crypto. And I would say another way is, getting real estate, getting bonds, getting stocks, getting into all the different markets. So you're not really affected by a single thing. And even, having multiple incomes is really good because you're not attached to a single thing working out, right? If you put all your money into crypto, for example, and you don't have any other income, what's going to happen is you're going to want that to work so much that you're going to make mistakes and you're going to make irrational decisions to try to make it work, even though it's most of the time it's out of your control, right? You can make the proper decision to invest in something, but after you invest, pretty much it goes your way or it goes against you, and it's out of your control, right? That's why I don't think anybody is necessarily a good, like a cult kind of following, where you don't want to believe everything you hear and listen to everybody, even obviously myself and anybody that you hear about, like financial markets, because nobody knows what's going to happen. They're just good guesses or bad guesses and probabilities. And that's how you want to think, in probabilities, right? There's more probability that this will happen or this will happen, and this will keep you more logical and less emotional. And that's an important thing in this, because you want to kind of stay away as much as possible from creating emotions for yourself where they could backfire and make you lose money. But yeah, and one of those ways is diversifying, like I said before. Another way I was mentioning before, dollar cost averaging, is it keeps it less emotional, and you just kind of automatically send money into an asset, and over time you just build up a size position that can make you money eventually. And that's just, putting money every month or every week whenever you get money, for example, from your job or etc. You can set aside a certain amount of money and just keep putting it in. And what it will do is average your price generally, because you're going to buy the bottoms, buy the tops. This is what a lot of people do that don't want to necessarily spend too much time on this and want to keep it as labor, what was the word, kind of least labor and least research, in a sense. They just find an asset and they just keep putting money into it, and over time, of course, it grows, because pretty much everything in financial markets over time grows. If you look at real estate, if you look at stock market, if you look at crypto, gold, anything that you look at, generally there is an uptrend that keeps going up and up and up. So that's a good strategy as well. Obviously, a little bit of a higher level to this is understanding levels and getting in at good prices, so that way you mitigate how much you're potentially losing, and you get better prices, so you get potentially more profit. But obviously that comes with mistakes, and you're going to have mistakes, and that's part of the game. I like to think of it as every time you lose money in this, there's a lesson for you to learn, and you just had to pay money for that lesson, right? So don't look at it as like, oh fuck, I lost money, now I'm not going to do this. Look at it as like, okay, what is the lesson in this loss that I could take in and be better next time, right? And if you look at it that way, you're going to find certain mistakes that you're doing over and over and over and over and again. Same thing with pretty much anything else in life. And that way you can mitigate how much time. Maybe you're not going to be perfect, but you're going to do it less and less. For example, if you have a trigger with junk food, right? If you can notice that and do it, instead of 7 times a day, do it 5 times a day, that is still a better result than before. So that's what you want to do. And I think a really important part of this is planning before you invest. And let's say you want to buy right now. You want to see, so before you make the full decision and before you get emotional about the investment itself, you want to look at, okay, where am I gonna get out, right? Let's say, okay, I'm sorry. Could you? Yeah, thank you. Where am I planning to get out? Right? It would it be 10% from here? Would it be 5%? Would it be 100%? Whatever else, and you have to plan out. Okay, where is the next level that would be proper, and that would be usually a place where it's gonna go, but it's gonna be difficult to go higher than that. Or let's say if you're looking at Bitcoin, let's say you bought at 40,000, you set a plan. Okay, I'm gonna sell at 100,000, right? So you set that plan, and once you invest, you have a clear plan that you're gonna do, right? So by the time it comes 100,000, maybe it goes to 105, 110, 115, but you already know, okay, I'm selling at 100, right? So you get out, and that's it, and you don't try to chase it, because that's where most of the problems come, is deviating from the plan you set. And okay, another thing is, same thing goes for a stop loss, right? A stop loss is a place where you mitigate how much you can lose. Let's say you put in money. Let's say you put in $10,000, and you're willing to lose $1,000 to find out if this is a correct decision or not, right? So you buy in, and now you set if it goes $1,000 less, let's say I lose $1,000, I'll automatically get out. You can do this in all of your I don't know, in Phantom. I don't think you can do it in Phantom, but in Coinbase and Kraken, you can set a stop loss of, okay, if it goes to this level, I'm gonna get out, right? Because then what happens is, once you start losing, you're gonna have emotions attached to that decisions and to that decision, and you're gonna be like, okay, maybe it's gonna come back, and you're gonna start to convince yourself that you made a good decision, and you just have to wait or whatever. And what's gonna happen is gonna waste time. And if you just took the loss, let's say you lost $1,000, and you found a better spot to get in or bought something else, you could have made that money and made more. But by waiting too long, you could lose the most important thing, which is time, right? And it just depends on, obviously, this is more for if you're a long-term investor for multiple years or etc., then this doesn't necessarily apply the same way. This is more for short term, right? If you want to, make 10% off this, you make 3,000 from 30K, for example, or whatever. You set that loss, and to kind of find out if you were right on this decision. And yeah, sometimes it's gonna go to your stop loss, and you're gonna lose money. But at least what's more important is having that plan and sticking to that plan, because if you let the emotions go, it's going to be terrible. And I'm going to talk about a little bit about the psychology of things. Like here's some of the things that affect investing in general. So one of them is loss aversion. So this comes back to kind of being fearful, and a lot of people are their main emotion when they are investing is fear, right? They don't want to lose money. They're scared to lose money, or etc. So the fear drives their decisions. And what I was talking about just now is literally when you put money and it starts going against you, now you're attached to that position, and you're going to wait too long because you don't want to feel the pain of loss. And that's not a good thing, because obviously, like I explained, you could spend too much time on this, and waste opportunity costs that you could put money into something else, right? So another one is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias, a lot of the times, is especially in the beginning or even with time. So you get this mostly in the beginning when you're learning about markets in general, and also when you're really, like, you've been in this for a while. So I have, like, kind of more on the other end of this, because a lot of the times you want your decisions to be correct. So what you're looking for a lot of the times in the information that you gather from sources like, for example, myself, or somebody online, or news or etc., you're going to look for things that confirm that you're right? So you're going to look for things. Somebody says, Bitcoin is going to go to 250,000. That's what you want. And you're going to be like, okay, I believe this person or believe this information over the information that is, Bitcoin is going to go to 10K. And you're going to notice this happening a lot of the times. And if you pay attention, you can kind of understand like this happening to you, and it's going to repeat itself a lot of the times, because that's a psychological thing that we all have, even with things that are not investments. You want your decisions to be right. And one of the ways I deal with it, a couple of ways. One way is if I was giving advice to somebody else, right? If somebody asked me, what do you think about this, and they're in the same situation that I am in, right? Like I transfer my situation to that person, and they're asking me similar questions to what I'm asking myself. That way you can have a little bit of a distance from having that position tied to you, and you can give a more clear answer to yourself. If my friend was in this position, what would I advise him? And that could be, cut your loss, get out before it goes down lower, or this information is more likely to happen than this information. And also looking for probabilities is the other way, is looking, okay, what is more likely to happen, right? Taking into account the different information from news, different information from the economy, different information from the movement of the chart, and etc. And the movement and stuff is going to come with time. You're going to see more and more how the charts move, how certain assets move, and you're going to have an idea of how what happens with them usually in certain places. But yeah, kind of looking at it, okay, what is more probable? It goes down or it goes up, or it goes to this level or it goes to this level, or it breaks this level and goes higher, or it goes to this level and comes down. And obviously that comes with time, but there's certain things like if something falls sharply, right? Like what we're having now, everything is kind of down a lot. Most likely it's not going to come back in a month and come back to where we were in November, right? When the president got elected, everything was super up, right? We're not going to have that in a month. Most likely it could happen, but most likely not, right? And so more likely situation is we're going to come down to a certain level out, kind of play around that level, gather more people to invest, and then it starts to go up. That's what most of the time usually happens. Or there's another probability that can happen. It could go down, but dance around and go even lower, right? So those things, and you can kind of see what happens depending on the situation itself and what's happening in the world, what's happening with the news and economy in general, and levels. Okay. Well, overconfidence bias, like I was saying before, kind of a gambler mindset, and that's overestimating your abilities. And this is a mistake I've made a lot, and it's looking at only the potential profits. So you're looking, I'm gonna put money into this, and look how much I can make off of this. Let's say you make 10 grand, 100 grand, whatever, and you're just looking at how much you can win. And what happens is you don't pay attention to the risk you're putting, or the risk you have, and that leads to a lot of times, being delusional about losses. And when it comes down, you're just focused so much on the potential return that you're not seeing that you're starting to lose money, or you got in at a bad place, or just being greedy in general. It's at 4,755. I want it to be at 5,000. And then what happens is it goes lower. And now you're from 4,000 to 755 to now 4,000. And now you just want it to go to 4,755, come back to where it was. And now you wait longer and it goes even lower. So those things happen to everybody, and it's important to know these things and to see it in yourself, right? Because you're gonna have this happen always. Like in investing, I've had this many times, and the more you can pay attention to it, and the more you can recognize it, the better you will be, and the less of those mistakes you're gonna make, and more logical decisions, more gathered on your decisions. Another one is herd mentality. So this is kind of following other people and just listening to them kind of without thinking. And even comes to what I'm saying now, like do your own research as well. Like learn about these things so you can go to ChatGPT or Gemini and ask a whole bunch of questions about it. Like I think Chris, I'm gonna send Chris some of these things, like the names, so you guys can research and ask questions. Like, okay, herd mentality. Maybe you come across this, right? Maybe you listen to other people and you don't really know anything, and you just listen to their advice and you make an investment. And you have this happen where you lose money, or you have a period where you're losing money because you just listened to somebody and that was the wrong call. And you could do research, right? You could ask like ChatGPT, oh, can you explain herd mentality? Blah, blah, blah. Give you a explanation. Then you can ask, how can I stay away from this, or how can I prevent this in my investing? And then ask, okay, if I'm in this situation, what are the steps I should do to prevent myself or to get out of this situation, to not be biased to the information I'm getting, and etc. It'll give you a lot of different things, but obviously getting different information from different people and researching things yourself is very, very helpful. Don't just listen to somebody say, oh, this is going to go to the moon or whatever. Like, especially with small cap coins, this is what people do. Oh, they get in early, especially like influencers and stuff. They get in early at a coin, and then by the time they make videos and etc. and get it really popular, you're kind of getting in late. I mean, they got in really early and they already made a whole bunch of money off of this, and they're just trying to get a bigger bag. So you have to be careful with those things. Yeah. So also another one is regret aversion. This is what I talked about before, is trying to not make the wrong decisions. And like I said, there's always a lesson. And if you, another tip, you can journal certain things, right? It's very important. I think is the best thing you can do is journal your entry into something. Like, I bought this at this price. This is what I'm thinking I'm gonna get out. Let's say you bought at 80,000. I'm gonna get out at 90,000. If it goes below 68,000, I'm gonna sell and wait for what's gonna happen later, and then maybe buy back in, and then put in also emotions and ideas that you have about this, why you bought it, what made you decide that, and etc. Like those kind of things. Write those down and you will have a better understanding of your mistakes and your decisions, and you can get better faster. That's a very important thing, especially if you go into learning how to day trade. I think is the most important, because in day trading it's more quick and it's a lot faster, it's a lot more decisions and a lot more emotions. So if you can write down all your mistakes and ideas for why you're doing things, you can figure out what the problems are a lot quicker, and you lose less money, right? Because obviously every mistake you make is a potential loss of hundreds or thousands of dollars, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of pretty much it. I don't want to go too much into it, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a perfect time to go over some of all the things that my dog just covered, man. So, for the other brothers that just joined in, we have Jason, Kent, Kaz, TC, Sammy. We have got a full house up in this brotherhood, man. We're opening up the floor to y'all, boys. Please go ahead. You could raise your hand with the feature built into Zoom, or just go ahead and jump in and start asking some questions that you got. And it could even be outside of what he just talked about if you want to get some tips on crypto.
Yeah, it could be crypto, it could be other markets in general, investing in general. I think if you it's good to know about crypto, but you want to understand everything because obviously if you learn crypto, you can go into other markets and there's always opportunity everywhere. So the more you know, the more overall you could, diversify your money. You could make money in different sections, right? Because obviously crypto is going to be probably down for like a year and a half, 2 years, and in that time you still want to make money. So learning about other things is important because you can park your money in somewhere else while that's
Facts.
happening.
And shout out Roger. We see you, Roger. Go ahead and feel free to ask questions as you please, my boy.
Yo, yo, yo. Well, I just got in. I just finished another business meeting actually. So,
Yes, sir.
so
Facts.
yeah, pretty busy, pretty busy. So it's
Appreciate
crypto
that,
today,
man.
right?
Yeah, so he was just going over risk management and things you could do to avert making mistakes and to control impulses and make wise choices in your investment. So we're opening up the floor to the brothers out here, man. So we actually had some good questions from Omar earlier and Tarzan earlier. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, aka Julian. But we got the other Julian up in here, man. Julian, me and Julian also had a really good conversation last night. Bro, we're opening up the floor. You got any questions? We'll start with, okay, Patrick. Are you there, Patrick? Patrick's probably doing something with cars. Julian, man, from last night, my boy, go ahead. Do you have anything that you would like to ask in regard to crypto?
No, sir, just listening.
Good shit. All right, so yeah, sorry about that. I just got a text from one of the people who's trying to join in, and then we got Mike, bro. Mike, how you feeling, my boy?
What's up? Yeah, I actually have a small question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I was just wondering about if you ever use Metropolis Exchange or SwapX.
No,
No? Okay.
no, I don't really know anything about that.
All right. Yeah, just I heard about it in Cultivate Crypto, so just wondering if. But yeah.
Yeah, there's like a million different things you can get into. I don't know if that's probably swapping coins and stuff, no? And
Yeah,
just
it's just
putting money.
more stuff that's available to me, and it works under where I'm at, so I'm not restricted on it so far.
Yeah, I mean, you can do research on a platform. Just make sure it's a trusted platform. They have a lot of money that is invested in it, a lot of users, and look at their history, see if they have any scams happen before, etc. So you don't get fucked up, And just generally it's kind of a first step, learning about those things. But I would urge you to focus more on the kind of technical side of things and fundamental side of things, because obviously, like I was explaining before, this is a broad topic, and generally, like investing is a broad topic into different markets, different investment vehicles, and learning about this will make you overall better with money and overall better into building wealth, because obviously making a business is a good thing, but you also want to have extra money that is building up on itself, right, from the business as well. But yeah, I don't know anything about what you said. I'm not familiar.
All right. Yeah, no worries.
Good vibes, man. Thanks for hopping in there, Mike. Ivan, bro, how are we looking, Ivan?
Good man. What's up, Chris? Hey, Lewis. My question is, what is the best risk and reward ratio to aim for crypto?
Well, it depends on the length of your investment. I would say pretty much anything above 2 to 1, 3 to 1 is excellent. But you also have to think about, like, okay, if you're doing what's called swing trading, which is buying and selling within from one day, like 2 days, I guess, to months, then you're going to have a lot of different risk management and risk to reward ratio, and obviously win rate, compared to if you're just long-term investing, right? Because obviously there's a lot more trades that are going to happen, right? If you buy and sell at certain levels and etc., you want to have a tighter risk, and obviously you're going to have less reward because it doesn't move as much as it will in a year most of the time. So like in a year, it could do 3x. In a month, it could do, 20, 30% maybe at a really good month. So you want to kind of take into that. And, but yeah, anything above 2 to 1, 3 to 1. And if you have anywhere above 50% win rate is really good. So like if you have 50% win rate and you're 2 to 1, you're always going to make money, right? Because obviously your reward is a lot higher than your risk, and you win and lose about the same amount. If you have a lower win rate, right, you can have a higher reward to risk, so like 5 to 1, right? But you maybe only get it 30% of the time, so 3 losses to each win. But since your wins are 5 times better than your losses, or higher, then you're still making money, right? But if you're really high win rate, let's say you mostly make money, then you can have a tighter risk to reward, maybe 1.5 to 1 or 1.2 to 1. So it just depends on your win rate a lot of the times. So you kind of have to calculate that over a period of time. Yeah, unless you have like a strategy that you're following, right? There's something called back testing. This is what I do with bots as well. Is you back test the strategy, and you see in the time before how much, what is the percentage win rate, and then you can kind of adjust the risk to reward ratio, right? If the win rate is lower, you want to increase the reward to ratio, right? Increase the potential reward. And if it's higher win rate, you can lower potentially, and it'll still be okay. So it just
To
depends on the time frame and the win rate. That's kind of
measure your results over time, are you using the journaling method?
Yeah. So if you don't have necessarily a strategy that is taken from somebody, which I found very hard to find, because before I was trying to build manually a bot, and to do it you have to kind of figure out or copy somebody's strategy, and it's kind of very difficult to find strategies from people. I don't know, it's kind of like a secret. They give you courses, but they don't really outline the full strategy and put it in a concise way. So it's hard to kind of find that out. But you could, there's certain programs where you can back test. Like for example, TradeStation is the one I use for bots. There's also, I think, TradingView has it. Ninja Trader has it as well. And there's also websites where you can, let's say you're using a couple of indicators and you're buying at a certain level and selling at a certain level. Let's say you buy and you hold for 1 day, or you sell, for example, a 10% win. When you're winning 10%, you sell. You can type those kind of criterias into this program, and it will backtest in the past how well that strategy works. And you could see, okay, this has a 50% win rate, and if I can adjust the reward higher, or I could make money off of this. But this kind of best way for you is just journaling and seeing, okay, I'm winning. Take a month, right? Let's say if you do swing trading and you buy and sell 3 days, you hold 3 days and you sell, usually 3 to 5 days, whatever. You journal those entries, those exits, the emotions, etc. And you could see, okay, I bought here, I sold here. I made $1,000 off of this. Then I bought here and sold here because I took a loss and I lost $500. And you can map out for a month or two and see, okay, I'm winning a certain amount of times. These are the problems I'm having, and etc. And kind of you can try to aim for more reward, try to hold it longer, and kind of see. I mean, it all depends. It all depends on what you're doing, but it's kind of the gist of it.
There we go. Brother Don, can you hear me, Brother Don?
Sure can.
Yes, sir, bro. This is the coach, man. Every time that we want to like get our abs looking good and stuff, we have to consult the coach. But today we're talking about crypto. Brother Don, man, go ahead and hit it with one of your crypto questions, my boy.
Yeah, so I had someone mention Bitcoin ETF recently as being a part of like their strategy, I guess. I guess just your thoughts on crypto ETFs in general, but more specifically the Bitcoin ETF.
And define for everybody what an ETF is.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's a exchange traded fund, and it's basically a company that invests money for people, basically, or has basically you buy their stock, their ETF stock, and they basically use your money to buy an asset. And that's basically the base of it. And there's ETFs for Nasdaq, there's ETF for S&P 500, Bitcoin, etc. And I would say you rather directly buy Bitcoin instead of buying ETF because a lot of the times, even if you go, for example, through an official thing and you put in money to a company, let's say BlackRock, etc., they take fees. They take certain percentage to themselves, right? Or if you, for example, invest in BlackRock or Fidelity or any of these in their stock, for example, it also is not as good as the returns that you will get from Bitcoin. The only exception I would say is MicroStrategy, but it's like a weird place right now. I bought it. So I'll tell you a little backstory. So I had a lot of money, a major amount in a stockbroker. So I couldn't buy crypto because it would take too much time to pull out the money, then put it in a Coinbase account or Kraken account, and then buy the Bitcoin itself. But at the time, I learned about MicroStrategy. This was beginning of last year, and they basically keep buying and buying and buying Bitcoin. And at the time, it was really cheap compared to its potential. Like the potential returns were 1.5 times of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up 2x, this goes up like 3.5 or so. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it's a lot faster, basically, a lot more risk, but a lot more reward. And since I didn't want to pull out the money because I wanted to continue day trading with the money that I have in a stock account, so I bought it. But now it's a lot of shit going on because basically what happened with the company is it had a huge run from I think $300 to like 1,200, I think, and then they did a stock split, which I can talk about a bit, I guess, later. But it lowers the price, and so more buyers can buy. And what happened was it went even higher. It went from like 100 something dollars to 550, and that was the top. And then a lot of people started shorting it because it was moving a lot higher than Bitcoin itself. So everybody was like, okay, this is overvalued, and a lot of firms started shorting it. And now it's kind of in a dump because he keeps the Michael Saylor is the guy that owns the company. He keeps basically diluting the shares by creating more shares to get money from them to invest in Bitcoin, to buy more Bitcoin. So the stock is not doing well because people are shorting it and he's diluting the stock. But yeah, generally, I think you rather buy Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is kind of an exception if you want to do options and if you want to catch certain levels. I trade MicroStrategy a lot of the times because it moves a lot. I can have 10-12% days, literally a day, 12%, which is unlike any other stock. So yeah, but generally I would say just buy Bitcoin. You can have full cost custody of it. It's all yours. Nobody's taking money from you except obviously the broker. But it's pennies compared to how much you could invest, and so it's better to just go straight to the asset itself. Same thing with gold. Same thing with other things. It's like a vehicle for people that don't really know what's going on or want to park their money in something that is a little bit less risky than the asset itself. But yeah, generally I would say just buy the asset.
Nice. There we go. So I believe that was Brother Don, right? So then now, fun fact, we got Jaleel in the building. What's up, my guy? All right, so we got Jason up next. Jason, fun fact, he actually made some rice for Jay Bills and Fresh at the meetup, man. That was pretty unique time. So Jason, my boy, can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you.
All right, man. Go ahead and hit it with one of your crypto questions.
Currently right now, I don't have a question. I'm just listening to what you guys are talking about.
Good vibes, man. Where do you feel like your skill level is with crypto right now? Would you say it's like beginner, intermediate, or advanced?
I would say probably beginner
Beginner.
at the moment, but yeah.
So
Good
yeah,
vibes.
Chris has the recording, so listen to it later on. If I don't know if you just came in or not, but risk management I think is super important, especially if you're a beginner. If you can learn this as soon as possible, you're gonna have a higher chance of making more money and losing less. So I think it's one of the most crucial. I think you can learn technical and fundamental analysis of different assets really quickly if you put your mind to it. But the problem is most of the time is risk management, risk tolerance, all these things that could play a big role in you making money or losing money in this.
Facts. And then, Kent probably, bro, this guy probably has his own coin right now, bro. Kent, where do you feel like your level is at with crypto right now, my boy?
It's been really stagnant for me.
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't seen growth or dip, so I mean I can't really complain, but yeah, that's about it.
What are you invested in right now? Or what coins are you in or like or all that?
I'm in Bitcoin, Solana, XRP, Ethereum, and then there's one more that escapes my thought right now.
All right. So what do you think about his portfolio there? XRP, Solana?
Yeah, I mean it's all valid. It's pretty good. I think it all depends on how much you put in each. If you put most of his money in XRP, that could be potentially dangerous or potentially really profitable, but obviously more risk. So it all depends. If you have majority in bigger coins like Bitcoin, then you're probably good. And
Yeah, that's what it is. I have about I think 7K last time I checked, and most of it's in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
yeah, that's good. Because obviously obviously there's an altcoin season that comes at the end. If you look at the diversion of Bitcoin to altcoins, there's a certain time at the end of the cycle when Bitcoin starts to drop heavily. People start to move their money from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Solana and then to other altcoins, and all of these start to pump, then dump, pump and dump, pump and dump. So you don't necessarily need to invest most of your money or a lot of money into altcoins during the cycle. You want to, what a lot of people do that are kind of risk averse and in a good position for themselves is they put like literally majority, like 80-90% of the money into Bitcoin or Ethereum. I mean, this cycle is not as good, but Bitcoin. And then from the profits that they make, then they take those profits, slice them into certain parts, and then at the end of the cycle, they invest in those coins and double, triple, 5x their money from there. So it's kind of what you want to do because you're gonna have the safest route is through Bitcoin, and obviously that's how you can be more controlled because a lot of these coins will have problems happen and they could drop 60-70% when Bitcoin drops only 10%. So it just depends, and that's kind of a route you can go as well, what I just explained. That's a good strategy as well. Look up let me see what's called. I think it's like a diversion of Bitcoin price to altcoin price. Let me see.
And then, another thing, Brother Lewis, as we have a lot of beginners in here, there is no way that at a beginner level you would have a full conceived idea of what XRP is, or the technology or the history of XRP or Solana, or some of the portfolio that's a good portfolio that you have there. Again, I think that what you got is very recommended. But could you tell us while you're looking that up there a little bit about the history of XRP, so some of the brothers here can understand why they would want to have XRP, and then Solana and why they would want to have Solana?
Well, I don't really invest in XRP. I know it's very popular. I know that they just had the lawsuit dismissed. I'm pretty sure it was today. Some news came out. I don't really follow XRP, but I know it's getting more and more popular. Reason why I don't really go into it because I think necessarily it's a little bit overhyped because they were like dead for like multiple years because of the lawsuit. But yeah, it all depends on the levels, and I think since it's popular, there's a lot of potential to make money if you get in at the right price. I think I know a bit more about Solana, and I think the growth that happened now with it, this cycle, is mostly because of meme coins and because of transaction cost. That it's a lot cheaper to send money, and that's why it's people are moving away from Ethereum because it's a lot more expensive than Solana, right? I've literally sent money from here, US, to Russia because I have family. Friend of my dad that he has a property there. My dad has a property there, and the guy was trying to send him money. So one of the ways was through crypto, and I told him about it, and I told him just buy Solana, send it to yourself, or tell him to send you Solana, and it was like super fucking cheap. They sent like 5K, and it was, I don't know, $5, $10. So everybody's just moving away. If that, yeah, I think it's even less. I don't remember. This was about a year ago. But yeah, and it's all of it is obviously instant, and the meme market is huge right now. It was pretty big before, but now it's gotten crazy. So that's why that's why Solana price has grown so much, because obviously all those transactions that are happening to swap from Solana to a meme coin, you obviously have to buy Solana. So it's a lot of different transactions are coming, and when the price is going up, even more people start to buy it and invest in it, and more interest, more popularity, and etc. And that's how it kind of goes crazy.
So before I get to Kaz, TC, Sammy, Roger, and Jaleel, does anybody here have meme coins?
I do.
Good shit, Roger. What you got, my boy?
Well, I got Pepe, that's for sure, and Doge.
Yes, sir.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
actually, I do have a question for you, Lois. Can you evaluate my portfolio? So my well, the way it's divided is as follows. I got approximately 70% in Ethereum and Bitcoin. So that's like what I call my savings account. So essentially, I'm going to use them, keep buying them, dollar cost averaging them. And I estimate that by 2030, 2035, the government and all the banks will be, using crypto, and everybody will be aware of it. It will be like, like having dollars in your pockets. And I'm planning on basically borrowing against them. So that's the first thing. Now, for the rest of the 30%, that's where it's a lot more riskier, but we can have like a lot more gains. So in the 30%, what I have now is Pulse X. I got Ali. I forgot the name of this one. I know the ticker's names, but hold on, let me just get it back here. This is artificial liquid intelligence, Ali. I do have also ILV, aluminium, if I'm not mistaken. I have I had Sui, but my phone that I was using as my wallet, like, I lost it in Colombia, so that I don't have Sui anymore. I only had like 2 Sui, so it's not a big deal. I have Gala, Velodrome Finance, which is Velo, Cardano, ADA, Pepe, Solana, Sonic, Doge, and yeah, and I plan on buying Litecoin, but I'm not going to buy them anymore. So basically, yeah, that's my portfolio for the 30% that I'm planning on gambling on. So what do you think about this one?
I think it's good. I think you should definitely. So there's gonna be moments where some of these coins are gonna go crazy, and other ones are not gonna be as crazy. And I think if you want to have the most amount of money, obviously this is a bit more risky and a bit more decision making to come, but you would want to obviously reevaluate continuously, like rebalance this portfolio in the altcoins, and switch from, once something pumps, take out your money. Don't like try to hold this the same way you're trying to hold Bitcoin, right? You're not gonna try to wait 10 years for it, right? So once you get a pump, take the money, buy something, or maybe reinvest back into Bitcoin, and that way you're more balanced. Because I've had this happen before, where I had a coin. It's a AI coin as well, and it went up from, I had, I think, 6K in it, which was kind of a big amount. I wouldn't recommend. So that went to about 15K, and I never sold, and I just held on too long, and the market crashed generally, and that coin went into shitter. I was losing about 80% of my portfolio. Well, not portfolio, but of that coin.
Yeah.
So, it's better to take certain amounts of money out of it, either wait for a pullback or buy something else, right? And obviously always do research. I don't know a lot of these coins, because I'm not necessarily interested, but if you want to do those things, you can. Obviously, everybody have a decision to make. But yeah, that's what advice I would give. Like, always, don't try to back hold things. Get your, whatever you get, like 2x, 3x, take it out, and maybe invest let's say you get a 3x. Keep your base, right? Let's say you invested 5K and went to 15K. Take the 10K, invest it into, let's say, Bitcoin or something else, or buy even different, more different more different coins, and then keep playing with the base, right? Keep playing with the money you invested in the beginning. That way you de-leverage the risk and you still get some profits to yourself, right? It's always better to have some money back in your pocket than trying to go for 10x or whatever else, and then end up wasting time or losing money, right? So it's better
Yes,
to always try to rebalance, right? It goes crazy one of the coins,
absolutely.
take off the top, put it back into more stable, Bitcoin or Solana or whatever, and then keep playing with the base. Or you could sell everything, put into bigger coins, and then keep the, let's say, 5K whatever you started with, and maybe buy something else or wait for dip. And that's what I would say. It's a dangerous game to play with them, but if you do it right and you be more cautious than greedy, you will make good money off of it. If you
Yeah,
get too
well, you
greedy,
nailed it
you're gonna fuck
actually.
up. Huh?
Yeah, my strategy on this one was essentially I made that portfolio in 2024 after taking the course with Charlie and Miguel. Then I did the analysis. So that's basically the portfolio that I have. My idea is this: from January to March, I'm going to invest into the coins. Then in October, I'm going to sell half of it. And then in November and December, so basically I'm going to have three period of pulling the money out, and then I can reinvest it into my REITs, because my REITs portfolio is giving me 11.45% annual return for the past like 2-3 years. So then, and I'm getting monthly payments. So then that's basically how I got some how I get some money. But here I can risk it, exit, and then exit by the end of the year. So 2025, that was my plan. January, February, March, basically the first quarter, invest. Then Q3 and Q4, starting to pull out the money gradually based on how
Yeah.
the performance goes.
Yeah, generally in investing, especially this works for options. You can make certain things free. So what does that mean? Is like, okay, I bought at a certain amount, right? And let's say I bought $100 worth of something, and that
Yeah.
went to $200, right? Now I take off the $100 and I keep 100 there. That way,
Mhm.
it's a completely free investment because now I'm not risking
Yes,
any of my own money, and it's just profits, right? Obviously, it's gonna
exactly.
hurt if you lose the profits, but it's better than losing your base. And if you lose
Absolutely.
all the base money, it's gonna be, you have to work, you have to do work to make more money and spend more
Mhm.
time. You know what I mean? So you want to try to safeguard your initial money. That way,
Mhm.
even if everything goes wrong, you still have amount of money that you started with, and you can always continue and come back into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sir, and shout out to brother Baite and brother Otis, but please keep going, Roger, if you got any more to add to that.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. Like, my main strategy with crypto is like, I'm gonna use Ethereum and Bitcoin as like, I call them my savings account, because I want to use them boys to borrow against them, in 10 years. And the rest is basically, money that I know I can lose, but that's no big deal. If I lose it, it's fine. It's worth the risk. If I don't and I make money, then I just reinvest it into either my REITs, which I know the average percentage because I do control it, and also putting money back into Ethereum and Bitcoin. So basically leveraging, the high reward part, and if I make money, then putting it back to the regular ones.
Yeah, you want to invest into smaller caps with a plan. I mean, not a plan, but like with an idea that this is a potential loss that I could take. So
Yeah.
by limiting how much you put in, you limit how much you can lose, and you limit the amount of risk. Obviously, the reward is going to be less, but your goal in this is to stay as long as possible, because compound interest is a really powerful thing, and especially with pairing it with crypto in general, you can
Mhm.
you can turn small amount of money into life changing amount of money, sort of quickly, compared to other investment vehicles.
Mhm.
But
Yo,
yeah,
so right before I pass the mic over to Kaz, TC, Sammy, Jaleel, Bayate, Otis, brother Patrick, can you hear me? Because you had a pretty good question you threw in the chat there, brother Patrick.
Hey, sorry. Yeah, I was talking with my manager. I'm back now.
Good shit, man. Well, tell your manager that you're gonna be quitting soon because you're getting rich off crypto, son. Go ahead and ask your question, brother man.
Hey, Luis. Thanks for all the intake you gave me last week and whatnot. So when I'm looking at like the support for like any coin, which chart should I look at? Should I look at like 6 months, a year? What should I look at?
so this is the process you would go through. You always the bigger time frame controls the smaller time frame. So if you look at a year time frame, for example, will control what's happening 1 hour, right? So the direction that the year is going is going to be what's happening in a month, in a week, and etc. Obviously the smaller time frames can go up and down, but the general direction usually follows the bigger time frame. So if you're looking to let's say buy for a few months or a year, you want to look at as big as possible. If you're trying to buy as for like a week or a month, you're looking at monthly to a year kind of time frame. If you're looking to buy for a day or a week, you want to look at a week or a month, and then kind of go down. So I usually look at first, obviously I know already the yearly move and what's happening in general because I watch the market a lot. But let's say you don't know, so you look at the bigger one, the year move, monthly move, and then 4 hours usually what I use. 4 hour to see the trend within days, like what's happening this week or whatever. And you can kind of see, okay, this is a strong level here on a 4 hour chart. So if I look at on 1 hour or 30 minutes chart, there's going to be a certain level where it can go, and that's a stronger level on a higher time frame. So usually you would bounce from there, or the direction, it will follow the direction of a bigger time frame. So you kind of start with bigger, go smaller, smaller, and smaller, smaller, smaller. um, that's what you want to do. If both of them, let's say the bigger time frame and the lower time frame, have a certain place or direction that they're going in, then you confirm that it's correct because they're both showing the same direction. If the smaller time frame is going opposite direction, then most likely it's gonna turn back and go in the direction of the bigger time frame. But as soon as the bigger time frame starts to change direction, the smaller time frames will also start to move into that direction as well.
Good shit. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely some good. We got some sauce up in here, and one of the things I want to get into is why it's so important to like start investing in meme coins. But brother Kaz, can you hear me, brother Kaz?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Yo, bro, your profile picture looks like a meme coin, bro. Looks like you're looking down on a shorty who's giving you some throat, bro.
Hell yeah, man. I gotta put a meme coin on myself, man. Has going up, man. To the moon, bro.
Hey, yo. So are you in crypto? Do you have any like advice or tips or tricks or questions about crypto? What wallet are you on? What kind of coins you holding? Give us the game, man. You got the floor.
Yeah, I have a question. It's more so of like what indicators you would use or tools you would recommend for knowing like when to what well not knowing but like recommending when to buy and when to sell at a certain point.
Um, so the ones that I use are RSI, MACD, SMA, EMA. I also like VWAP, but I don't really use it. So those kind of RSI shows certain levels if it's too expensive or too cheap. MACD shows the momentum of a move and the direction. Also, SMA and EMA. SMA usually for higher time frame. Well, it kind of shows the bigger and stronger supports or resistances, and EMA more closer to what's happening during every day or every hour. And those two kind of show similar things and similar direction, and it could also show reversals. If it breaks above EMA, it could fake, but usually would move into the opposite direction. So if it goes down, for example, and the EMA is here and it goes below it and then goes above it, it could fake and go lower, or it could show that it's okay, it's reversing and it's starting to go back up. And if it crosses EMA and then crosses SMA, then you have a stronger trend to go up or to go down or whatever. So those are the ones I use. I mean, you could kind of research and see. There's also good ones are ATR, average true range. Also volume. I've used that one before. Weighted volume. So this shows kind of how much. This more of a day trading kind of thing. It shows more of certain levels, how many buyers and sellers there are. Also, another thing is called bubble map. Also shows like at certain levels, there's a lot of buyers or a lot of sellers. So these levels usually would, if it's a lot of buyers at the bottom, usually will reverse and go up. It's you have to mix all of them and kind of um, if all of them align and say the same thing, you have a higher chance and higher probability that you're correct, even though it could be completely wrong, but you have a higher chance. So here's mostly chances and probabilities. So if you align all of those and all of them are saying the same thing, you're more likely for a thing to happen than not, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Thank you, Lewis. I do appreciate you answering that question there.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? And listen. This whole thing started because I have known that Lewis has been in the crypto space for a long time. Omar was on a call with us. He had a question about crypto, so he wanted to get his skills up. And based on the success of the last class, Patrick actually put 3 grand into Bitcoin from what he had learned in the last class and has made money since then. So Patrick, bro, that is a fucking Dom DeMarco to you, my boy.
Yeah, he should be up pretty high right now.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that was definitely a good class, and I can't wait for more of these. Yeah, it was really good.
Yo,
Yes,
big
sir.
facts. You see that? We're already moving and making success happen right here, right now. And we're about to get to TC. I said all that to say that TC also, he's a pretty fierce motherfucker, bro. When it comes to giving him game, he will literally move with like force and ambition. Yo, TC, can you hear us, big dog? TC! Where you at, TC?
Typical.
All right, well,
Yo,
all right,
yo,
there he
yo.
is.
Can you hear me?
There he is. There he is. So I was just introducing you up, big dog. I was saying, when it comes to the game, TC's a pretty fierce motherfucker, bro. So go ahead and hit us with one of your crypto questions or what you've done since with crypto. I believe you invested a little bit more since then too, right?
Yeah, I'm up to around like 6,500 now. Nothing crazy, but just enough to have some type of portfolio. But my question to you, Lewis, I'm not gonna be savvy at all with crypto. I can just tell by my personality. That's gonna be super annoying to keep checking the charts all day. I'm probably gonna be more of a buy and hold type of guy. So I have a reoccurring charge on my account where I just buy X amount of crypto, like $50 or so a week or bi-weekly. I don't remember. But I have that going on right now. Is there a specific coin or something else that I could be buying into weekly? And then obviously when there's dips, I'm probably gonna put more than $50 on those. But is there anything else that you recommend? Any type of coin?
Honestly, the things we've talked about is basically your base, and then other things, other small coins are gonna be. I would say you have to do research, and you have to. I wouldn't recommend anything, to be honest. I think the base, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, are what you want to put your majority, and especially if you want to be less hands-on and less stressed about it. If you park your money there, you're pretty much going to be good, right? The thing with people is they try to chase the most return, and especially when you're new, that's all you see. People putting screenshots of how much they made, and etc. But the people that lose money don't put anything, or a lot of times they don't. So if you keep that base and you keep investing in it, especially Bitcoin over a long period of time, right? We're probably going to $1 million in 4 to 8 years, probably around 8 years, maybe. So just putting that money, you're gonna 10x, which doesn't doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? Like nothing else really does that outside of crypto. So you're gonna be good. I would say do your own research if you want to invest, and invest a small amount, because obviously if it's a new coin for you, you're not gonna know everything, and you're not gonna know the movement that it makes, right? You can look at the chart, but certain periods of time, you will only understand by being in the position, right, and watching it, and etc. I think I would recommend you. Soon I'll have a bot. If you want to be automated and not worry about it at all, that would be a good investment for you as well. Because there you have to check in maybe once a week to make sure everything is working for like 15 minutes, and literally you're just printing money. You don't do anything, and it's super easy, all set up for you and everything. So. But yeah, for now, I would say just keep investing in those coins, and you're going to be good by the time just be careful. There's probably until the end of the year. That's where you would want to pull out money if you don't want to wait for a year and a half for it to come back to around the same price. So yeah, kind of my thoughts on it. I don't want to recommend any coins to anybody, because like it's high risk, and a lot of people here don't know much or are in the beginning stages. And if you just jump into those things and you lose money, you're gonna get what's the word? Like you're not gonna want to
Deterred.
continue. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
All right, perfect. I kind of was moving around when you recommended that. You recommended some type of app or some type of strategy for the reoccurring charge, and you said to check in weekly on it. What was the name of that?
No, I was talking about a bot that I'm building. So I'm building
Okay, okay.
yeah, I'm building a futures bot that is gonna do Bitcoin as well, but most of the people here, I don't think, can do Bitcoin, because you need to have like 100 plus K in your account to just own one contract. But it's gonna do futures, and there it's all it runs on a server, so you don't even have to have your computer open. You can travel whatever the fuck you want, and it's pretty much working 24/7. Well, 24/6. One day off, and that's the day you would log in and see how is everything. Is it working properly and everything, and that's it. And it takes like 15 minutes or less.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then is there like
Yeah.
those are three that I'm pretty much.
Yeah, park most of your money there, and then with a little bit of money, do research on other coins and see who is the team behind it. Look at the wallets behind the coin, right? Who owns? Is the owner owns most of the supply, or is the community owns most of the supply? Because if the owner owns it and it's a new coin, then you will be at more risk of getting scammed. Look at the point of it, like what's the value it brings to the market, and just look at the technical analysis. Like, okay, is this right now a good price to buy? Has this coin been around for a long time or it's been a short time? How does it done if it's a long time? How has it done in the past cycles? Is it doing as well as it was doing before? If it's a new coin, you have to do more research because obviously a lot of it is going to be scams that will go to nearly zero. So, um, yeah,
All right, thank you for that, brother. You answered every question I had. Thank you.
yeah.
Yes, sir. And rug pull, that's funny, Don. Basically, like if you guys don't know, yeah, he is right. Bots are basically money printers. So I put Lewis's Instagram in the chat. So if you guys want to bother him about that as the future goes on, more than welcome to. Sammy, can you hear me, Sammy? Brother Sammy. Probably not. All right. So summarize that. All right, we're gonna just move on from Brother Sammy. Don't worry, but we went with Roger Jaleel. Can you hear me, Jaleel?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, how we doing, big dog? It's been a minute since I seen you hop in. How you doing, brother man?
Oh, I've been blessed, man. I've just been trying to grow in other ways besides learning how to do crypto. I'll be honest with you. I'm a new person in this. I've never bought crypto before. I only know basic things about it. But I've just been spending time trying to hold myself accountable and see where I'm fucking up and improving from there. So
Good stuff, man. Where are you in crypto right now? Just an observer, or are you looking to get a portfolio built out for yourself so you have some future assets bringing you money?
yeah, of course. I want to start getting, investing into crypto. I've never done it before and I want to begin with it. I just need some proper guidance as a beginner so that way I can make my first little investment, first little return, and then from there with the knowledge that I will gain from it, I'm looking to cultivate it towards a much greater direction in the future. So
So this is actually a really good starting point. A lot of people are actually in your area, Jaleel. What do you think has made you not invest in crypto up until this point? Because it's been a buzzword for like the last couple of years, but not everybody's in it. Not everyone has it. Not everyone even knows about it really. So what do you think is a hiccup or stopping you from investing right now?
well, it was two things. In the very beginning, when I first heard about it, when I first heard people buying into it, of course, normies and NPCs, when I didn't know better, would tell me it's a scam. You shouldn't buy it. You'll lose money. Da 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 da. Da. Went from that, and then I started watching a year ago because I watch Fresh and Fit religiously. I started watching Charlie Miguel coming on to the podcast, and Myron was harping on the fact that hey, if you don't invest in crypto, you're going to be a brokey. Essentially, at least have something in it. And during that time, I really wanted to, but I was pretty down bad. I was laid off from my job. It's a long story. A lot of people know my story, essentially. I'm not going to delve too deep into it. But now I'm in a much better financial position and I want to capitalize on it. I want to be in a position where in my 40s and 50s, I could retire if I wanted to. But at the same time, of course, as a choice. But ultimately, what I want to do is build a certain amount of capital to where I can reinvest towards other things that can create a lucrative future, not only for myself, but for people that I care about around me as well.
Good, man. That is some good stuff. So if you do plan on retiring, I think that you're going to need a little bit of networking, right? So I would say you want to definitely talk to Brother Patrick. You want to talk to Brother TC. You want to talk to Brother Kaz. You want to talk to Brother Kent because every one of them is invested up. And of course, you want to reach out to Brother Lewis. Are you following him on Instagram? I dropped his Instagram in the chat just to make sure that you would have it.
I don't think I'm following him. Let me give him a follow so I can get on with it.
There you go. I just put it in there again to make it easier for you.
Let me just, yes, I see the link. I'm going to drop a follow right now. There we go. I just requested. So he requested, and I was going to say, shout out to TC. I've been in touch with him ever since the Miami trip 3 weeks ago. And me and him had a lengthy conversation last weekend about, well, he holds me accountable for other things like my weight loss. He holds me accountable for things like what I'm doing as far as my hard work goes. And he mentioned the important aspect of crypto. He was like, you need to get into it. I would highly recommend it because if you have crypto, you'll put yourself in a very promising position to be financially free. So I started seeing, and then I started seeing brothers in the Castle Club community, always during this time that they would be, working on something. And I would always wonder what it was. And then I've come to find out they're in these Zoom calls. So I didn't know exactly what these Zoom calls were, the entirety of them, until you sent me the link into my DMs. So I opened it up and now I'm in the Zoom call and I'm looking to learn about how to get into crypto. And any questions you guys have about as far as what kind of capital I have, what I'm willing to start into, and everything else, I'm an open book.
Yo, I think that's a fantastic way to do that. So hold on. First, let's go ahead and give brother TC that Dom DeMarco, bro. You know what I'm saying? TC, bro, the fact that you're out here pulling a brother aside, keeping him sharp, telling him to lose weight, and he's here based on the recommendation of you telling him he needs to get into crypto is a fucking W. Iron sharpens iron in this brotherhood. Look at that, bro. Doing God's work, man. That's a big shout out to you. And then, of course, Jaleel, man, Brother Lewis and all of us here want you to be, of course, healthy and invested up in doing your damn thing, right? So I just put in the chat the school link. Me and Brother Lewis have been talking about doing this a lot more frequently. So I did send out the links to everybody because I'm building that popularity right now for people to be getting that link from the school behind that wall there. But that is where the links are for this type of course right now. And this video will be there and his last video will be there. And we really would probably want you to make a wise first decision so you can get advice as to what that wise decision is from, again, TC, Patrick, Lewis, myself, Kent, and really I would say it's obvious you should probably start with Bitcoin because I believe it's good buy. Is it buyer's time right now, Lewis?
Yeah, I mean, last week was better, but this week is still good, and it might still pull back a little bit back to where it was about 2 weeks ago, but it's still anywhere around this range is really good price from the top, so it's still a good time to buy, and obviously, I want you to make a good decision and make a educated decision because it's better for you to understand what you're doing than just following what somebody else says, because then you're going to be tied to, let's say, my advice or somebody else's advice, and won't be able to make decisions on your own. And sometimes you don't have the connection with the person anymore or whatever, or you won't be able to get good advice anymore. So you want to make your own decisions so you don't depend on advice, but yeah, it's still a good time. Obviously there's still a lot of potential for it to go up, and we're gonna break the top and we're gonna go higher. It's just a matter of time of when the economy stabilizes, and we start moving with more cohesive and more kind of stable rules and regulations about what is happening with tariffs and the inflation and etc. So, but yeah, anywhere around this range is really good. 70, 80K, even 90K is still good. Anywhere above 100K is you're getting at the top, and you might need to wait a while for you to start making money. So anytime now is still good. Just do a little bit of research. There's a cool quote. I think his name is Raul Paul. He's one of the crypto investors from really long time ago, from literally the beginning, 2013, I think. And he talks about everybody's very skeptical at first about Bitcoin, then they learn about it, and then they fall in love because it's one of the best assets to get into in general, because it has very high returns and it just keeps growing, and it's still to give you a little bit of scale of what's happening. there's only about 18 million Bitcoins or so. I don't know the exact number that is available now to buy. It might be even a little bit less than that. And there's about 21 million millionaires in United States. So if all of them just bought a Bitcoin, there would be no supply. So the price would be crazy high because there's just nobody, no Bitcoin left for anybody else, right? So people would pay a lot for it to have it in their portfolio and have the Bitcoin. So you're still very early, and there's still a lot more to for it to be adopted, with countries, with major banks, major brokers, to keep developing that field and keep getting more and more popular.
All right. Well, I was going to say as well, to add on to what you're telling me, I'm glad it's a good time to buy. And typically, I don't know. Well, you watch the markets. I know you do because you're very experienced in this. But I'm sure you've been seeing that we're back on the rise now from a big market wide loss. So I think based on your educated assumption of this, I would have to probably get into it pretty soon. Correct?
Well, it all depends obviously on how long you're trying to invest it in. But yeah, generally this is still a good price because looking at levels and stuff, it's like the bottom is 68K or 66K. That's where it's gonna bounce like 90% if it goes there around that number. So you have a lot less to lose compared to the potential win you can have, which it could go higher than 110, higher than 120. Nobody really knows the price will go to, but the upside is so much higher, right? You can win, you can make a lot more, you can double your money if it goes to, let's say, 160 from now, compared to if it goes to 66, you lose maybe 20-25%. So your upside is 200%, your loss 20-25%. So it's, your reward is a lot higher. But yeah, generally still good time. Learn a little bit more about it, find out how it works, why is it valuable to people. And yeah, you could see a lot of companies, a lot of countries are starting getting into it. That means it's becoming more and more mainstream. So, and they got the money. So eventually they're going to buy all of it or most of it. And when there's no more to sell, the price goes up. That's always happens with anything, right? If there's shortage of I don't know, water or gasoline, then because there's not as much gasoline, the price will go up. That's just general like economics with anything. And you're still early. If you're looking at it as like 10-20 years in future, you're still pretty early. And even in this cycle, in this year, you're still early. If you bought at 109, I would say, damn, you bought a very high price. But right now it's really low compared to where it was before.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I look forward to learning from people like you, and I look forward to.
Yeah, you can. I added you on Instagram. You can ask me some questions if you want. When tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, sure. I'll be in touch. You'll get some DMs from me periodically as far as questions go. I was gonna ask one more thing here. When TC and I were talking about getting into crypto, he had me download two different apps that I could start in, which is Coinbase and Robinhood. Would those be a pretty good avenue to start in as far as
Um,
that goes?
yeah, well, I generally don't really like Robinhood because it's pretty much for new people, especially. I mean, it started off as a stock broker, and then now they have crypto in this cycle. But I generally trust more Coinbase or Kraken. I just like them more. They're more designed for that, and they're more you can get to more advanced level with it in a sense. Like Robinhood is more for beginners that don't really have more a lot of knowledge and don't go into depth with learning about it. So I would, even if let's say you have some money in Robinhood, I would try to get away from it as soon as possible because there's more usefulness and more what's the word kind of benefits from having other brokers.
I see.
Robinhood is kind of, I mean, they charge a lot, as I remember, and their charts are not as good as other platforms, and generally, it's a little bit worse than having, for example, Kraken.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't started investing anything just yet. So you're basically just saying, in a nutshell, uninstall Robinhood and just stick to Coinbase and Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, you can look up Robinhood charts and compare, then look up Coinbase or Kraken charts, like advanced charts. You're gonna see it's a lot more sophisticated and better. And also look at the fees. Search up Robinhood fees for buying and selling crypto, and look up Coinbase is pretty high as well, pretty high fees. Kraken is a little bit less fees. So you kind of want to move to less fees, so you spend less money and you can invest more money. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing to learn. And you'll be hearing from me soon. I want you to know that too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Good vibes, man. And Jaleel, so your homework is basically and quick shout out to Cedric, Otis, and Baite for being in here, man. I appreciate your boys. We're about to come to you real quick. You know what I'm saying? And Jaleel, your homework is basically like, okay, Roger, you want to link up with Roger for meme coins. Hit up Lewis. Hit up Kent. Hit up TC. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Network with the brothers a little bit. Reach out, learn as much as you can, and your job is to reach out to them to educate yourself. Roger is already into meme coins. And then, of course, like the more traditional things is everyone else that I had just recommended. But as soon as you get into that, bro, you will be able to make wiser choices and wiser decisions. As you know, this is about risk management. So you're coming in at a really good time to have an understanding of why you make these kind of moves.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
No problem, brother man. So and just real quick, myself, Lewis, Cedric, and Otis were a part of the original Miami Castle Club. So to have the originals with all you guys that are like new to us, this is great brotherhood stuff coming in right now. It is fantastic to have everyone coming in and merging cohesively. Brother Otis, can you hear me, brother Otis? Let's see. Otis, you there? Otis is he does boxing and basketball at FAU. If you're there, fantastic. If not, I am gonna go over to brother Cedric, man. Oh, he's like at work right now. That's all right, Otis. You're good. Just keep listening. Brother Cedric, go ahead and say hi to everybody real quick. You already know Lewis. And then ask him a couple questions that you got about crypto, where you feel that you are on crypto. Don't worry about it. We'll come to you. What kind of wallets you use, what kind of coins you have, and things you have to talk about with risk management as well.
Yeah, man. What's up, niggas? What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing good, man. Lewis, man, I'm glad to see that you stepped it up a little bit, man. Now you're running yourself some crypto calls, man. I love to see the progression, my brother. Good shit, man. No, man, I'm just glad to see everybody's doing good, man. Just jumping in here, showing some love, bro. I'm actually getting ready for my Zoom call as well. I'm actually in the crypto mindset course this quarter, and I'm learning a lot. I'm only about 3 months into crypto, so I'm not even, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm really really good at it or anything like that. But definitely glad to be here to soak up a little bit of knowledge, man. Get a little bit of input from you as well as everybody else who has questions and input, man. It's always good, like anything that we do, man. Especially when it comes down to making money, right? There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So whenever you can get some kind of knowledge from anybody, you know what I'm saying, it's always a good thing, man. So I'm just here showing some love, man.
Yeah, on this call, a lot of risk management since you're kind of starting just now, or 3 months ago. It's good to know about risk management in general, to in anything, business, real estate, anything, and it's very important to understand the psychological things about it as well. And I've broken down some things, and you can always do even more research, and yeah, get more into it. So that way you lose less money, make more money. You know, that's what we're here for.
That's it, bro. Hell yeah, we'll do, man. I appreciate you guys sending the invite over tonight, man. I definitely appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, good stuff. And then of course we got Brother Bayate. So if you guys don't know, there is a rematch that's gonna happen between Brother Bayate and Brother Michael on a whole other topic that we have going on. We are live on YouTube right now, so we can talk about that whenever y'all boys feel like it. But Bayate, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Listen, Bayate is a pretty smart guy. You got everyone here knows Bayate. He's big into AI, big into everything that has to do with the internet technology and the Internet of Things. Bayate, bro, hit us with some knowledge with Bitcoin, crypto, and ask a couple questions to Brother Lewis. What have you got for us today, big dog?
Well, I'll be talking to Lewis soon, just not right now because I don't have the money to invest in crypto. But I'm probably asking him because I have other people who are interested into, so I'll probably just refer them to him. I don't have any questions at this time. But I am curious about that bot, the automated bot you were talking about. So someone
Yeah.
else asked me to for them. I was like,
Yeah.
that's some tricky territory because of payment processing and stuff and legal stuff.
Well, yeah, obviously the legality, it's kind of similar to big firms and what they do. And obviously you incur the risk. It's your money, right? So obviously it's tested many different times with many different tests in the past. I'm running simulation on 11 bots right now, and I'm gonna test them for at least 2 3 months or 4 months and see if they're actually working. They passed all the previous tests with testing them past 25 years and seeing how well they do. They also have, obviously max drawdown. So this is the maximum that you can potentially lose if the worst thing happens, right? And it also tests for, there's a noise test which shows basically it simulates different potential things that could happen in the market. Let's say instead of crypto going to 108, it goes to 107.5, for example, or whatever. It tests many different variations of what could happen, and compared to those variations, it sees, okay, is your strategy better than all the? It will work in all those variations or in any variation of the market. So that shows, well, if the future is different, which it will be, how well can the strategy work in the future? And yeah, there's many different tests like equity bands that show, like, uh, if it goes wrong, how much you can lose, and what is the potential loss. And obviously the point of this is to lose as little as possible and make as much as possible. And the bots I'm running right now, just a few of them, not all of them are taking positions yet, because they haven't had a signal to take a position. But just in a week since, I think since last Friday or Saturday, that's when they took positions. They're up 4.5K from 50,000 dollar account, which is about 10%. And obviously, this is not necessarily a show of what it will end up being. Obviously, it could be better, it could be worse, and on a scale of many different trades, the average of these bots is from 2,000 to about 6.6K. The best one is 6.6K per month, with an account from 20 to 50 to $60,000. So just depends. Obviously, this could be scaled down. So you can have, let's say your account is only 2,500. You can have same percentage return, but obviously it's going to be less money, right? Like if the bot right now is making 5,000, and let's say it's a 50,000 account, but you don't have that money, you only have 5,000, then the bot would make 500 instead of 5,000. So it just scales down, but the same thing happens. So it's pretty much for all accounts, all account sizes, even the really big ones. And it's just better than trading in general because first, you don't spend time. Second, you're emotionless and it's just making you money. And also, the most important is less risky than doing it by yourself because it already shows you, it calculates how much you can lose, and obviously that percentage is a lot less than what would happen if you were investing yourself because you're going to make mistakes, and the bot just follows a program and runs the strategy. And if that strategy is good and it tested well, it's always going to have similar results. But yeah, it's kind of the base of it, to put it kind of somewhat simple. But yeah, it's rigorously tested, and that's why I'm taking a few months to. They're already built, they're already working, but I need some time to test them. So I'm sure that it's making money consistently.
Okay, I like that. If you ever need
Yeah,
help, I'm always here for AI or tech advice. Me and Roger, so we do. But
yes, sir. Yeah, and another benefit of it is that it's diversified. So some of them are trading gold, some of them are trading stocks, some of them are trading oil and beans and even Bitcoin as well, and also shorting them. We haven't really talked about here about shorting because it's a bit higher risk strategy, but you can make money when something is falling as well. And yeah, so some of the bots are going to be against the market, and when the market's falling, they're making money. That way, you can uh, diversify and lower risk. So at any time, you're always making money. If something is losing money, is one bot is losing money, another bot is making money. So you're always either stable or making money, or approximately. Obviously, not always is going to line up that way, but that's kind of the plan.
nice, I like that. Okay, probably talk to you more about that. That's where I would
Yes,
relate
sir.
to.
Yes, sir. So for you guys that like for example, Roger, Bayate, Lewis, you guys need to be in an Instagram group chat together. Everyone here, you can direct message Lewis. There is an Instagram group chat for crypto specifically. So you guys can always stay sharp on what's going on in crypto. So by the time that we have these calls, you can already be kept up to date the entire time. So you immediately need to direct message Lewis. His Instagram is in the chat. As you guys know, Revenue Mentor is available to each and every one of you, everyone in the Brotherhood, for free for life. So Cedric, Roger, I believe Otis, I need all three of you guys to sign up for free for life. That's where this video will be, and all the information that me and Lewis go over will be available there. And then on top of that, Bayate, man, do you know anything else about meme coins? Because we did get a chance to talk about that with Roger, but I imagine that you are into automation. I know you want to save a little bit of money to invest. Have you had your eyes on any meme coins lately?
No, I haven't. I'm starting to get into it 'cause I have some people who wanted me to make stuff for them, so I'm looking into it now. So
Well, when
no,
people are like requesting your services and they want you to make coins, what are they usually looking to create with the coins? Is it business related, community related? Where is the nature or the future of meme coins going right now at this moment?
I actually have a friend that actually like mines for coins and stuff. He knows more about that than me. I just help automate stuff like that bot was doing. I help automate that stuff. One of the guys came to me about automating for his community, like getting notifications about bitcoins or some like pricing and stuff. Um, so I do more side on that end, but Roger's the one to go for the bitcoins, I would say.
Good stuff. And for every single brother here, I'm going to put this link in the chat. It's called pump.fun. Each and every one of you, if you came up with a business plan or some kind of cool idea, you yourself can make a meme coin. If you see a meme coin or if you see something going viral in the news, If there's like another assassination, like a Luigi dude or some crazy thing going on with a celebrity, you can literally grab that and make it a meme coin and get it out there if you feel like that is something you'd like to bring into the world. But as we're hitting the second hour of this chat here, my dog Lewis, I know he has like a million things to say. If you ask him a subject about anything that he has to talk about, he could talk about anything related to crypto for hours and hours. If you were to go into his office and to see how he has his computer set up, he has all the charts, all the graphs ready to go, and he spends all of his time putting money in and taking money out. Good, peace out, my dog Cedric. Thanks for coming in. And then brother Roger knows about, of course, crypto in terms of meme coins. And then we have the brothers in here who know the solid, more like sustainable coins that are like the normal coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. Well, you know, guys, he said some people are moving from Ethereum, but Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, XRP, etc. But unless anyone has any questions right now, we'll be moving into the final thoughts because, again, me and Brother Lewis are coming up with some ideas to bring you guys some more sauce so you guys can be profitable as we keep going forward here. So I'll open up the floor to any of the brothers. Any last questions or lingering ideas that the brothers got in their head? All right. That being said, I'll be moving into the final thoughts. Brother Patrick, any final thoughts about this round, my boy?
I don't got nothing on top of my head. Lewis, thank you for holding these calls. I really appreciate it.
Big facts. Brother Omar, any final thoughts?
Hey, yeah, I appreciate Lewis. Thank you for the advice. Definitely checking out the charts, keeping up to date. But I appreciate you. Still brand new into this, but thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Brother Drew, thanks for coming in. So, go ahead, show right there. We're just asking Lewis crypto questions and going into some final thoughts right now. Brother Mike, can you hear me? Brother Mike.
Yep, I'm here. Yo,
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
Lewis. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. And I can't wait for the Michael Bayate rematch. That'll be fantastic. That'll be coming soon. That's a whole nother Zoom call. But in the meantime, if anyone has any like questions or suggestions for the next call, go ahead and throw that in there too. Brother Ivan, then Brother Don, then Brother Jason. Brother Ivan, any closing thoughts, my boy?
No, I just thank you for the valuable lesson on risk management. Your insights have been giving me much clearer of the understanding of the crypto area.
Yeah, research the psychology, the psychological biases in investing. I think it's very helpful for everybody here and in general in investing. So you can, the earlier you can start catching those things, the more money and more control you will have in investing in general.
Big facts. Brother Don, how you looking, big dog? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just want to thank Lewis, like everybody else. Got some good value that you gave out tonight, keeping us knowledgeable. I did want to ask, should I be keeping my faith, hope alive in Doge, or what's going on? Like, I haven't made any money in Doge.
Well, if what price did you buy?
And that's probably the reason why. But a few years ago, so let me see.
Wait,
Okay, so
if
this
you
is
bought a few
my average
through
cost was
the
47 cents. So
All right.
that's not a few years ago. That's a couple months ago.
let me see.
Hey man, see, this is why we do the closing thoughts, so y'all boys can really make some moves before we gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. Might as well make some money in the process,
Okay,
brothers.
so yeah, so there was 2021 and then 2024 was the last time I bought. So
Okay, yeah. So you bought most of your Doge in 2024 because I bought them at 15 cent, 17 cent, and 18 cent, and I'm still making money. And so
in
yeah, you're gonna
21,
have to wait, man.
yeah, in 21 I got it at like 53. That was the highest I had got it. And then in 24, the lowest I got it was at 28.
So what is your average price?
Yup, 47. Yup.
Yeah, so you're like down like basically around half your
50%.
money. Yeah. Yeah, well, you either wait, it's still gonna pump by the end. It all depends on if you need the money or not. It's gonna pump by the end of the cycle, just like every other altcoins. So you could wait till then, or look for something else and take out the money out of loss and put in something with a better price where there's a lot more return that you can have, right? Because obviously when it will go to $50 or 50 cents or 60 cents, you're still going to be just making your money back, right?
Yeah.
But you could have a lot more return on some other things. But it's just up to you if you need the money or you're willing to wait. That's kind of the plan you would have. It just depends on more on your situation.
Right. Yeah, and back then I wasn't as knowledgeable, so I probably bought it like right at a while it was pumping or something like that. And
Yeah, I mean that's everybody in the beginning. It's fine, yeah. As long as you learn from it, and as long as you understand, uh, to understand that the price is very important, and the price you get it in at is super important, and that will dictate what your plan is. And yeah, that's kind of the two options. You either hold it until the end of the cycle, and hopefully around that time or earlier it pumps, and you can either take out money or take out money with a little bit of profit, or you take out the money now, take the loss, and put it in something that you've researched and that is at a pretty low level where you can have, a 2x, 3x, so you can make your money back and make some more, you know?
got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But if it's like $100 that you bought, bro, just keep it. It's not gonna be that
Yeah.
much of a big difference for you. But if it's 1,000 or more or whatever, then probably think about what you're gonna do and what you can research other options and find what else you can do, what else you can buy that is good.
Yeah.
Kind of like I was explaining, look at who holds the coin, if the who are the owners, what is the point of it, and what is the popularity, what are the levels that it's at. If it's down 60%, for example, but it's last time it pumped is very strong pumps, very fast. Maybe that's a good better options because you're down 50%. At least if you buy this, there's a higher return back to where it was, you know? So yeah, just thoughts like that. Kind of evaluate your position better.
Big facts. All right, thank you, brother Don. And yo, Lewis, if you see that, brother Patrick actually has his hand up.
Yeah,
Brother
go ahead.
Patrick, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. So
Go.
I heard you say a couple times like I just wanted like a definition of like what a cycle is and like how long those cycles like usually last and whatnot.
So there's a 2 and 2 cycle. So 2 years up, 2 years down, and that's generally what happens. It doesn't necessarily have to happen and continue to happen, especially as crypto gets bigger. That might change because obviously it could be more stable, um, and have either lower cycles, like not as much returns but not as much loss as well, depending on how much money is in it. But usually it's 2 years up, and then followed by 2 years of being down. And usually well, not usually, most of the time they're right where the Bitcoin halving happens, which is usually, well, I think it changes. There's different dates every time it happens. But yeah, so once they cut the supply of Bitcoin mining in half, usually that's where the beginning of the bull run starts to happen. And around this date, so last year was, I think, in April, as I remember, where they cut the supply in half of potential new Bitcoins being created. And so that's where it started moving. And by the end of this year is going to be the end of the cycle, maybe beginning of next year. That's where it's going to end the bull cycle. Then it's going to be a downtrend for a year, and then bottom, where it's going to play around in the bottom there for a year or so. And usually that's where you would want to buy to have the highest return and lowest risk. And yeah, you just time these cycles, and that's where you're going to get best prices and the least amount of potential loss that you can have.
Got it. Thank you.
Yo, good. That's a good question, man. That was a pretty good thing to bring up, cycles. And in case you didn't know about that, that's going to be important for the future. All right, now let's see. Jason, can you hear me, Jason?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Good stuff, man. Any questions or final thoughts, my boy?
Yeah, not really any questions, but thank you, Lewis. Thank you, Chris, for hosting these crypto calls. Always learning something new. But yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir, man. You never know how this is going to help you in the future, how it's going to sharpen you up, what knowledge you're going to get from it, what knowledge that could be on par and compete with dollar cost crypto and those guys offering courses at like a too high of a ticket sale price. Or when you call into Fresh and Fit, talk to Fresh and Fit, and already have knowledge, or even end up on the show because you created something from this conversation that leads off to a better future, you know? So iron sharpens iron all day, man. TC, any questions or final thoughts, my boy?
No, not really any questions. Still in the beginning stages, so I'm just soaking in all the knowledge. Once again, Lewis, thank you for, utilizing your time that you could be spending doing other things to help us out as beginners in the crypto space. We all appreciate it. So once again,
Yes,
thank you.
sir.
Chris, thank you for setting it up. Appreciate you guys.
All day, brother, man. Kent, how are we looking, bro?
No questions at this time, but final thoughts. Thank you for your time, Lewis, and I wish you the best of luck in that automation. And I hope to see it up and running soon. Let's watch it kill.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yo, and I'll go ahead and just say this here. I do cold approach. Lewis does cold approach. Kent does cold approach. And Kaz does cold approach. I was talking with brother Sammy earlier today, and he actually got a chance to help brother Michael and brother Omar and someone else in here with putting together a dating profile for swiping online. So me and Sammy decided we're going to do a couple shows where we help each and every one of the brothers get their dating profiles ready to go. And apparently, brother Mikey's killing it. He got like 20 swipes and shit. You know what I'm saying? So my dog is out here getting attention from the ladies nonstop. So that's mad important. But that'll be coming up soon. So what was it?
Disclosed information.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? We'll keep that for the speed dating show, bro. But let's say something me and Sammy are looking to link up to do. But look at that. We're killing it with crypto and dating just like that, motherfuckers. All right, we got Kaz, bro. Kaz, thoughts, questions, comments. What do we got,
Yo,
my boy?
well, I ain't got no questions right now. I do appreciate Lewis coming in, answering all them questions I had, and going more in depth about it. I do appreciate the value he's been giving out, answering all these guys' questions and shit, and it's really fire. And I'm really grateful that you were able to bring him on to this brotherhood of ours, to put us on to this crypto gang. You know, definitely a round of applause for you, Chris, for doing that, man. Do appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Anything I can
sir.
do to bring value to the brothers, I absolutely will. Anything, any connection. I don't care if it's a slab. I don't care if it's like some high status teacher. I don't give a fuck what we need, bro. If we need it, I'll do everything I can to bring it to each and every one of y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
It's my boy Sammy. Are you still there, Sammy? Can you hear us? Probably not. Well, Sammy, yo, where you at, Sammy?
Yo, you hear me? My bad. I'm working right now.
Good shit, my boy. So I got a chance to tell the brothers about our call from earlier. I actually, if you guys didn't get a chance to see it, me and Sammy did a call earlier today. About 5 hours ago, I dropped it in the chat, and it was a really good thing about speed dating that we had decided that Sammy actually is looking to do with his life, man. Like he's actually going to build a brand out of helping brothers get into speed dating. So go ahead, clap it up for brother Sammy. But brother Sammy, go ahead and let him know that we're going to talk about that on, I believe, Thursday, so brother Patrick could get clued in on that. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
we're definitely gonna doing that shit. Improve everybody's dating profile and shit. But yeah, that's our plan of the future, man. Like this Friday, like collab with fucking Chris, and yeah, we're gonna help everybody and shit. Like we're taking the next level, bro. Honestly,
Yo,
my
clue
bad.
me in on that. I'll
I'm
drop
driving
some
right now.
knowledge.
I'm driving right now, bro. My bad.
say that again, Ken.
Say, clue me in on that. I'll drop some forbidden knowledge.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah, it was taking
Yes,
over, man.
sir.
So
It's a takeover, man. We use our
yeah.
days wisely. So, Sammy, any questions, final thoughts,
No,
knowledge
I
you
got
gotta
no
drop?
question, and I'm appreciated like on Lewis for giving a nice sauce. I'm just like listening while I'm working, so I appreciate that what you're doing, and yeah, I appreciate everything, man. So taking advantage and investing on crypto and stuff. I'm just learning. I'm new, so yeah, just take one step at a time and no rush.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, man.
And then we got Brother Roger. Brother Roger, I've been trying to get you in a one-on-one Zoom call for a while now. Of course, same with Omar, Mikey, Jason, all of y'all boys. I'm trying to get these one-on-ones as best I can, man. But Brother Roger, bro, we know you got a lot of knowledge. You're a smart motherfucker, man. Go ahead and give us like a little taste of what we could learn from you, and then any questions or comments or closing thoughts, my boy.
Oh, damn, learning from me. Shit, man. That's a lot. That's a lot. Well, what I do AI, software engineer. I do a lot of research actually. So right now I'm actually, what am I doing? Shit. I participated in something where I have to present my thesis because I'm doing a PhD. And apparently I won. I have to represent my university. What else? I do some business. I'm not like, the super business guy or whatever, but I do have some knowledge in that. I do also have knowledge in investments. I have different kind of investments. I do have arts. I have crypto, obviously. I have REITs, which are stocks, and what else? Oh, real estate as well, like real estate. So REITs are like real estate investment trust that you can buy stocks and you don't have to manage the properties and stuff. But I do also have like actual real estate as well. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'm based in Canada. So a lot of the things that I will do, they will be Canada based, but I did learn a lot from Grant Cardone and stuff. So I can kind of guide you also a little bit for the US, but yeah, mainly Canada stuff, that's where I can actually help you. And I do have a network, so for anybody that wants to invest in Canada, I do have some realtors, I have some lawyers, and I also have like mortgage brokers that can help you purchase real estate anywhere in Canada. I did build my own spreadsheet that does the evaluation of properties. So you enter the numbers, you enter the revenues and stuff, and you can calculate the return on investments. You can calculate your cash on cash. You can calculate basically. I built all the formulas from every content that I absorbed online and stuff like that. So yeah, these are all the things. And thanks, Louis, man. Like the crypto things, pretty good, and getting a lot of knowledge. And yeah, it's very good what you're doing, man. Keep it up.
Hey, Roger. Yo, it's Omar.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo,
does
Omar, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good.
I was wondering, does that software work on US properties or you're only basing it in Canada properties?
All the formulas are basically the ones that I got from Grant Cardone. I also got them from Robert Kiyosaki, but I did a lot of formulas from Grant Cardone. He used to have I'm not sure if he still does it, but he will go through evaluating any properties, and everything he said, I literally spent like almost 6 months listening to all of his courses. So it's a spreadsheet where you have the formulas, you plug in the numbers, and you put in the numbers that correspond to where you are. So it doesn't matter where you're located, we're just going to evaluate the returns.
Okay. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yo, brother Roger, man. I cannot wait to like give you a call, set up a one-on-one with you. You're a force to be reckoned with, and I know there's a lot of knowledge that we can extract out of you to give to the brotherhood to improve each and every one of our lives, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Just letting you know.
Yeah, well, my schedule is pretty tight. Like technically, I have like 4 full-time jobs. I have my business, I have 2 full-time jobs plus my PhD. So even me being up right now, I like Bayete send me a message. It's like, oh, I'm surprised that you're up right now. I say that's because I'm working on something, and then I'm like, okay, I can participate in a Zoom call. That's no problem. But yeah, I have a very, very, very tight schedule.
Facts, man. Well, we love to hear that, and we love to just know that, bro, this dude, he be doing great. Who the fuck has 4 full-time jobs? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, anything's really possible when you really got your like ambition and force and mentality set on a free future. You feel me? So that's
Absolutely.
really good to know.
Just hit me up on the weekend. We can probably do something that's, if it's scheduled, then usually it's fine. I schedule you 48, 72 hours in advance. I can manage something. But yeah.
Big facts, bro. All of this is scheduled. It's on the calendar in school, but don't worry, I'll hit you up ahead of time. I won't like just hit you with a random. We got you, big dog.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds good, man.
sir. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother Roger. Brother Otis, I know you're at work right now. I don't know if you can chime in, brother Otis. If you can hear us, that's great. I would like some closing thoughts from you, but if you can't, I know that you are, he's the younger gentleman. He's about like, I think 19, 20 years old, finishing up FAU, and he works at CVS right now. So, my dog just tries to do what he can. Brother Drew, you there, brother Drew?
Hey, how's it going? I just got off of work right now.
Now, I understand that you're coming in at the tail end of this, but if there's any comments or thoughts that you had on crypto, you'll be the last one to give a closing statement on anything to do with crypto to Brother Lewis, my boy.
Oh, it was good. The first show, the first time he hosted his his intro. I think it was like last week. It was good information that I got. Kind of understood it a lot better. If you want to make more money, right? Like strategically, you're gonna have to put in like 10K and be comfortable and losing it, and then if you're just trying to start small and understand more, just put whatever you can, like 300 to 600. So I appreciate Lewis for that. Thanks.
Good shit, man. So look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the live stream here in a second. I'm gonna let you guys have like a sidebar as soon as I hit the live stream before we officially go. But this is where I get a chance to talk about a couple of things we got going on. For Instagram, please, if you're watching this on the live stream, please follow me on Instagram. My follower count is backwards, but I'm gonna be aggressively following and marketing everybody that I know and getting these clips out there. But help me out in the meantime, because that looks really bad. You don't want your following count backwards, especially if you build in dating profiles and stuff, right? So I need a little help with that. Another thing, please bother Fresh about bringing back a fresh match. Chino has been on a fresh match. Brett has been on a fresh match. And as far as speed dating goes, each and every one of you literally could be on Fresh and Fit from bringing back a fresh match. And Fresh has started up his new YouTube channel, A Fresh Start. So each and every one of you here, like Kaz did, go ahead and super chat that in. Bother Fresh, tweet Fresh. If he had his Instagram up, I would say go ahead and shoot him a DM. But his Instagram is down at the moment. But the more that you bother him to bring back a fresh match, it's a good thing for each and every one of you guys to go on there and get a chance of, we can bring our own ladies, date some new ladies, but have fun on our favorite show, Fresh and Fit. And then, of course, if you did not get a chance to see this, it's on school.com/revenue mentor. That's where we give out the real sauce. That's where we have the real meetings. That's where it's all behind closed doors. And you got to have special access to the brotherhood. But in the meantime, this has been fantastic, Lewis. I'm about to end the live stream now. So if you guys haven't